Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and hello to ladies and gentlemen. You all are welcome here on the launch ceremony of Pakistan Journal of Cardiovascular Intervention. And I am Dr. Kamal Amir, your moderator for today. So we'll start this session with the recitation of Holy Quran. And for this, I would like to invite Mr. Shahnawaz Ahmad. He's a sales manager at Gates Pharma. Mr. Shahnawaz Ahmad, please come on stage.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gathered here for the launch of the journal, and this journey was a difficult one, and indeed this journey starting from the inception to the publication, and the whole journey will be narrated by the editor-in-chief himself, Professor Tariq Ashraf. So I would invite him on stage. He's a former professor of cardiology at NICVD and professor emeritus at KIHD. Please, sir. Achha, this would be spontaneous next time. I would invite the guest and clapping would be from your side. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim is the first slide, and without that, the intervention history is not complete. We all know that is Andreas Gunzik. He presented his first balloon angioplasty in 1976, and at the AHA meeting, this poster was being highlighted. And he's known for being the first to develop successful balloon angioplasty for expanding lumens of narrowed arteries. So the question arises, what was the purpose of poster publication? It was through publication that the research, including its scientific and practical contributions, were disseminated to others. This makes scientific researchers and practitioners with similar interest aware of new knowledge in their field, and it helps to advance knowledge and its applications. So this is a list of our stalwarts who started diagnostic angiography and angioplasty as first contributors in this field in Pakistan. This includes our senior doctors Azhar Farooqi, Abdul Haq Saab, Samad Saab, Colonel Mujib Saab, General Zulfikar, General Noori, and General Ashur Saab. And after that, now we have the budding interventional cardiologists throughout the country. Now, we have the first editor of this intervention journal, was Professor Hafizullah, and with his guidance, we continue to work for PJCVI, and within 1 year, we are able to produce 2 volumes. I kept in my mind saying of Anthony de Saint, as for the future, your task is not to foresee it, but to enable it. So this is the first coronary angiography in 1978. It's been documented, and you can see it in the first volume of the journal. So in the early 70s, right and left cardiac catheterization was initiated by Dr. Abdul Haq Khan Saab. In 1979, the first selective coronary angiography in Pakistan, thus laying the ground for revascularization in the country. So the turning point in Pakistan interventional cardiology is started from 2000 and it extended to 2005. And the whole history is being documented in the volume 1 of our Pakistan Journal of Cardiovascular Intervention. With the journey of development of Pakistan Society of Interventional Cardiology, which was established in 2005, it aims in interventional practices in Pakistan to international standards and maintain adequate level of training for young interventionists across the country. So this journal has been published under the umbrella of Pakistan Society of Interventional Cardiology. So it was needed to provide a platform to publish research data regarding the interventional cardiology where it can be seen, reviewed, and compared at par with international standards by cardiologists of Pakistan and rest of the world. So it's a peer-reviewed journal, it's an open access, biannual, been published, and it publishes original research reviews, short communications, case studies, commentaries, and editorials. It's a platform to determine cardiologists to stay relevant in diagnosing and analyzing, researching, and managing patients with cardiovascular disease and its allied complications. So our journal has been registered by the ICME, and we have got the ISSN number also. Its membership with the cross-reference is also there. We have got the ISSN number with this journals, and though we have applied for in the HEC and all requirements have been fulfilled, it's just we are waiting for approval from the HEC. So as I've said before, it publishes the original research, reviewers, case studies, commentaries. So it follows the common attribution license, and we have got the license of this journal also. The article that has been sent by the authors, we send it to the reviewers for the peer reviews. We give them certificate of reviewing the articles. So the PJCVI, the Pakistan Cardiovascular Intervention, and nickname is PJCVI. So it has its roadmap and all its aims and scopes have been published. So this is the front of the journal you can see, and it's the back of it, so you can review it. The paper format is the same as of all international standards, having the copyright, citation, corresponding author email, funding, and conflict of interest. This journal is also in website. The volume 1 and volume 2 is present, and the all requirements of aims and scopes, and every article that has been published, you can see it on the website also. We have got the login portal. Anybody wants to submit the article, he can go into the website and can submit it. And the article that comes to us has been reviewed, and in a short period of time after having a peer review, it's been updated, and if it's accepted, it's been published. So we all young cardiologists are here, sitting here. So I'm giving a call for papers. It's your journal. You have to make it forward, and good original articles, case studies. If you submit it in this journal, and this will not only make our country, but it will be it can be seen in all over the world. So editing and proof services for the authors are being provided free of cost. Anybody is submitting their articles, and if there's any problem, we identify those issues and try to correct them with consent of the authors. So our main goals is about DOAJ, Clarivate, and to PubMed. We are working on it, and hopefully in the next year, we will achieve some of the objectives. In the end, I thank Gertz Pharma and Eric for the help and contributing. And in the next coming year, we are going to make a team for that, and that will help us in publishing the articles. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tariq. So now I would like to invite the managing editor of Pakistan Journal of Cardiovascular Interventions. This is Professor Ishtiaq Rasool. He's an ex-professor of cardiology at an ICVD and currently working at the Fazaiya Hospital. I would like to invite him on rostrum for his short speech. Please welcome him.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My speech really will be very short because majority of the things already Editor in General Dr. Tariq Ashraf has already narrated. I really want to congratulate our team for their effort which we have made during the first year. And during this first year, we have managed to issue 2 issues of this journal. And you have seen that too many of recognitions and registrations process we have already done, and actually we were very much expecting to today announce the registration and recognition by the HEC, but we couldn't. We were following them every day, every second day since last 2 months, and unfortunately the HEC was not having their chairman for the last couple of months, and that was the main problem. And I think so in a couple of months, maybe the next month, we will get the registration and recognition. And I think in this, our first editor general of this journal, Dr. Hafizullah, will be instrumental, and because he has a relationship with the incumbent HEC chairman. What I wanted to say that my target or task is to create the article bank so that we must have more and more articles, and we are all working in this regard. We are going to every institutions. We are requesting the head of the institutions and the leaders in this field to ask their fellows to give us more and more articles. And all those who have, whenever they were editor-in-chief, like Professor Mansoor, Professor Hafizullah, Professor Samad, they know this problem, the problem of having the articles to publish and the reviewingship, and also the recognition and registration nationally and internationally. And we will try our best कि हम इसको nationally भी recognize कराएं, and the years to come, my first target is to, in the region, get the recognition from the editorial boards and from the other journals, so we can have the exchange of articles and have editorial meetings also, like invite them in our society meeting, the editors of different journals who are dealing with the intervention. And the main thing which I can tell you is that it is all about the quality and quantity both, because the journal can't be recognized without quality and the quality. Because you have to have a quantity also, because in the process of registration, we came to know that you must have at least 4 original articles. And if you don't have the required number in the journals, you are not going to have the registration. This is nationally. And similarly, internationally also, there are some laid down criteria, and you have to fill that. So this is all about the quality and quantity both. So I will request you all, the leaders of this society and this interventional community, to raise the number of the articles so that we could get it done, this task of registering this journal nationally and then internationally. So with this, I thank you all, and I congratulate all of you for the successful the meeting of this intervention society.
Thank you, Dr. Ishtiaq. Before moving on to the next address, those who are curious, I would like to tell them there is definitely a dinner after this session and in the same hotel. So please note down it. Now proceeding to the next address, I would request Mr. Faisal Abrar, on stage. For his speech, he is GM Marketing and Sales in Getz Pharma. Please welcome him.
Assalamu alaikum ji. We at Getz Pharma take pride in providing the technical and financial assistance since the inception and the finalization of the 2 copies that we have provided to the society. It was a long journey. डॉक्टर अशरफ ने 1 साल का जिक्र किया, उससे पहले का 1 साल जिसमें सिर्फ और सिर्फ इसकी लेआउट पे काम होता रहा और उसका जिक्र वो नहीं किया उन्होंने क्योंकि वो सारा बैकअप वर्क था. With the 2 copies in hand, I would like to congratulate Dr. Tariq Ashraf, Dr. Ishtiaq Rasool and the team for bringing up fine quality work that meets the international standards. In the last, Getz Pharma is committed to take further collaborations with the Pakistan Society of Interventional Cardiology in the field of academics and research. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome President, Pakistan Society of Intervention Cardiology, Professor Nadeem Hassan Rizvi on stage. He's the next Professor of Intervention Cardiology at NICVD and currently working at OMI Hospital.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी, थैंक यू. आई विल जस्ट बी वेरी शॉर्ट. मैं आपको ये बताना चाह रहा हूँ कि मैं जब काउंसिल में एक ज़माना था कि मुझे लिया था एज अ एसोसिएट एडिटर, ठीक है ना, तो वो ज़माना था इसलिए कि उन्होंने कहा यार ये एसोसिएट एडिटर की है तो अब तुम इसमें खड़े हो जाओ बिकॉज वी वांट यू टू बी पार्ट ऑफ पाकिस्तान लाइव. तो एक तो ये ज़माना था. अब और मैंने कख एक धल्ले का काम नहीं किया इन दैट एडिटर मोड. तो मकसद ये है कि इसीलिए जो स्टैंडर्ड, हाँ देला, तो स्टैंडर्ड ये था हमारी सोसाइटी का कि भाई वो हमें तुम्हें लेना है काउंसिल में तो आप कोई पोस्ट नहीं. सो नाउ वी हैव इवॉल्व टू एरिया के वे द राइट पर्सन, अगर आप राइट पर्सन को राइट जॉब के लिए करें और कार्रवाई ना डालें तो दिस इज़ व्हाट हैपन्स. सो आई थिंक नाउ यू हैव द राइट पीपल फॉर द राइट जॉब एंड आई वुड लाइक टू कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट एवरी वन ऑफ देम कि उन्होंने सारी एफर्ट की और उसमें फार्मा इंडस्ट्री का भी हुआ. सो आई थिंक इफ़ यू जस्ट गो ऑन दिस प्रिंसिपल कि जो जिसका टैलेंट हमारे मुल्क में बहुत है और रिसर्च का भी है, एंड आई थिंक दिस ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल जिसमें सारे फ्रॉम इश्तियाक रसूल टू तारिक अशरफ टू हफीज़ुल्लाह साहब हैज़ ऑलवेज बीन एकेडमिक, हमारे प्रोफेशनल डिसीजंस पे हमेशा वो रहे हैं, लेकिन पर्सनली वी बीन फ्रेंड फॉर मैनी ईयर्स. एंड आई थिंक कि एकेडमिकली जो लोग स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं उनको आगे लाएं. दिस इज़ द प्रूफ कि आपके सामने ये है. एंड आई लाइक टू थैंक यू एंड कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट एवरीवन एंड आई होप कि दिस गोज़ फ्रॉम सक्सेस टू सक्सेस. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, Dr. Nadeem. And now is the time to welcome the chief guest on stage. Professor Muhammad Hafizullah is the next HOD of Cardiology and CEO of Lady Reading Hospital, Peshawar, and served as a Vice Chancellor at Khyber Medical University, Peshawar as well. Please welcome.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I'm truly honored. I don't have words to thank my very dear friends, Nadeem Rizvi and where's Hanif? Bashir Hanif is around. Right. When he announced that he wanted me to be the chief guest, I said, no, this person, that person. But he persisted and I had to give in, being a very dear friend anyway. So it's truly an honor for me and I feel very privileged for that. So welcome to the launch of Pakistan Journal of Cardiovascular Intervention. Next slide, please. A few years ago, only 4 years ago, we celebrated 50 years of Pakistan Heart Journal. So it took 54 years for the Pakistan Heart Journal to give birth to another baby or to the only baby, and that has come in the form of this journal. I just wanted to take you through the history of this Pakistan Heart Journal. It started in 67. Initially, it was 6 monthly. Then it became quarterly. And for one whole year, 81 to 89, it was quarterly. And then it dwindled down from 89 to 2001, became 6 monthly. And then only single issue for a few years. And then when it came to us, in 2012, became quarterly. So my first message is these journals are very, very precious things, and they need a lot of work and a lot of dedication. Professor Samad used to say, and quite rightly, journal is like your own daughter. पहले उसको पढ़ाओ लिखाओ, पहले उसके लिए आप वो करो, फिर रिश्ता भी तलाश करो, that means article भी तलाश करो, और फिर उनको publish भी करो. So it is a very, very difficult task. I just would like to take you through the list of. थोड़ा आगे कर दे please. आपका ये काम नहीं कर रहा. Next slide please. Okay, so these are the people, and I want to salute them who remained as editor journal. And I really have great respect, and we didn't know about him, Ali Muhammad Chaudhry Saab, who actually started the journal, and he continued till 76 when Professor Samad took over, and then it was Azhar Farooqi in 80, then our dear friend Mansoor took over in 1996, and 2011 we took over and handed over rather a robust journal to Tariq Ashraf, and mashallah he has done an excellent job in improving the journal and trying to improve it further. Next slide please. Next slide please. Right. I just want to take you through this very interesting editorial which Azhar Farooqi Saab wrote in 1980. So 67 journal started, 80, that is about 13 years, and he says that even though the journal has no office, no full-time staff, not even a typist, and meager funds, but we should carry the flag of research. And he also says that this is your journal, let us make worthy of being the official organ of Pakistan. Next slide, please. Things have changed. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Now, even the journal has no office, those have crossed off. Now the journal, as Pakistan Heart Journal, had the office, the staff, the typist, and everything. But there is something still missing, and that is the flow of articles. The articles, this article or any journal will go up if we subscribe to it and if we give it articles. And the same thing now applies to Pakistan Journal of Cardiovascular Intervention. I built up this whole thing to emphasize that this journal is our journal, and this needs keen interest and patronage of all of you. Next slide, please. I'll just take you back to 1978 and look at the beautiful articles that were published at that time by Ali Muhammad, cardiogenic shock, left ventricular atrial communication, and all these nice articles published at that time. So people really worked very hard at that time. This is that afterload article. This is ventricular arrhythmias. This was a fourth All-Pakistan Cardiology Conference, and they were talking about rheumatic fever and ischemic heart disease. Next slide, please. And he was saying the second problem of coronary artery disease. So at that time, rheumatic heart disease was the first problem, and coronary artery disease was the second problem. I just quickly went through the articles that we published in 2017, and I think all these marked articles could very nicely fit into our Journal of Cardiovascular Intervention. So we have been publishing these articles, but they fit in very nicely, 4 out of them and 5 out of them. We had about original articles, something like 12, and we had original articles in the next one, 12 as well. Can you go to the slide back, please? Back. So this was my last editorial that I wrote, and this was that the journey of the journal of Pakistan Heart Journal continues. And in this one I wrote, and what is the way forward? And I wrote at that time that the way forward is launch of new journals of specialities like interventional, electrophysiology, pediatric, and preventive. So, mashallah, this has come up, intervention. We have to work, Khabar Kazmi, to start with something in prevention. We have lots of pediatric cardiologists to start it, and we also have to start with electrophysiology, so that we must do. And why do you want to do it? For two reasons. Because we have to have required to inculcate the culture of research at all levels. So we really have to work hard to inculcate research, and why that eventually this research and scientific advances should benefit our patients, our ultimate goal. So I just want to take you through PSIC vision, and we will visit it again. And the PSIC vision is that Pakistan Society of Interventional Cardiology must flourish on the horizon of global interventional arena. Must flourish on the horizon of global interventional arena as an educational and highly professional body. I will visit it again. Next slide, please. But your mission is very good. Most of you may not know about this mission. The mission says it aims at uplifting interventional practices, one. Second, internal collaborations. Third, national database and registry. And fourth is to promote cardiac health. Next slide, please. So we have done uplifting of interventional practices by training the newer lot, by offering facilities for training, and I think we have done an excellent job by introducing FCPS interventional cardiology. Second, international collaborations. Next slide, please. You have seen in the form of Pakistan Life, and very important, the thing that you set for yourself, the national database and registry. I congratulate Bashir Hanif for thinking of it and then actually implementing it, and PSIC, hats off to it, has done an excellent job. And of course, this all should translate into promoting cardiac health, and it says very nicely through education, through advanced healthcare, and improved preventive strategies. So mission-wise, I think whatever goals PSIC set for themselves, and they are very high goals. I congratulate PSIC for achieving these goals. And as I said before, the journey has started and it should go along. An excellent job for them. Next slide, please. Next slide. When I visit vision again, I think there is something deficiency over here. Next slide, please. That we say educational and highly professional body. Next slide, please. I think we have talked about academics. We did not talk about, in our vision, about research, about the overseeing role that we are playing, developing professionalism. So maybe at one of your meetings, you can look at your vision and try to improve that again. Next slide, please. We wanted to launch a journal in 2017 when I became the editor of PSIC. So there was a job which Nadeem got, and then it got promoted to the editor, but we had nothing to print. And I did float the idea at that time, and I wanted at that time Osman, Umar, Asad Akbar, Zubair Akram, Nadir, and Tahir Shah as our editors, but we could not launch it. At that time, maybe, the council did not deem it fit, and then, as we say, har cheez ka time hota hai, that was the wrong time, and mashallah, Tahir is the right time. Next slide, please. So when you look at editors now, alhamdulillah, Tariq Ashraf has done an excellent job, supported by Ishtiaq Rasool, and of course, we have got excellent associate editors, and this is the advisory board, which has done an excellent job. This was the first journal. In the first journal, you have got one original article, one case series, and 4 case reports. And the next one comes, and mashallah, improvement that you see, that this has got 4 original articles. So from 1, you have jumped to 4. That's excellent. A review article. And this is something I would like, again, this is based on the work that Bashir has done. The need for self-regulation employing appropriate use criteria. I would like all of you to go out through this article and give your feedback. This is the essence of all that we are doing and Supreme Court demanding us to do in a proper, a befitting way. Next slide, please. So next slide, please. My next few things are what can we do to improve? And we have been discussing it privately as, I think, the master trainer group, which is headed by Nadeem Rizvi, and we have got many players in that who are playing a wonderful role. That should be our biggest resource. So I would suggest that this group should be, this is a barrage of interesting cases with very professional discussion. So we should be publishing more and more of these case reports with pictures. And I suggest that we have a barcode on it, that anybody who gets that barcode has an access to the videos. So if you have properly choreographed videos, that will be an excellent resource. And I think you should not restrict yourself to 3 or 4 case reports. Maybe you can have 8 or 10 case reports. The more you have it, because those are the case reports, we have seen it, we have deliberated on it, and it is something wonderful. How else we can improve the number of articles? I think all interventional fellows must publish at least 2 articles. I just put 1 because I didn't want to offend them, but it should be at least 1 to 2 articles. We just saw a nice crop report, and Bashir, I wrote this before the crop report came. I think this crop is a source of lots of studies for us. So all the hospitals contributing to crop can look at their data for 4 or 5 years. Bashir Sahib can make 3 or 4 articles. So this crop and NCDR data should be a great source for us. PSIC should invest in 2 more things, in more interventional studies. So your new stent is coming, your new so many microcatheters are coming. Let's use them in studies so that we can get more out of it and invest more money in IVUS and OCT trainings and try to improve upon that. I think all the proceedings from Pakistan Live should be transcribed, and that should be a rich source for us. At least it can feed 3-4 journals. And I very strongly feel that any journal that is published 6 monthly, we forget about it. So it should be at least, I know it's more work for you, but it should be at least quarterly. All the presentations which are made over here can be transcribed and published. We can have a lot of structural heart studies. All those TAVIs that are being done can become part of it. Peripheral studies, Jabbar and people are doing, that should become part of it. Pediatric interventions, electrophysiology till they have their own, that can become a part of it. So all this can become a part of us, and we can do that. Just last 2 slides that, of course, I mean, we all know writing is a very painful. I think creation in itself is a very painful job. Creation of a baby or a creation of an article, they're all very arduous things. But it is a pleasure. So it requires attention that more you would like to give, time more than you can afford, effort, it is sweat and tears, and you have to revise an article. Discuss it with your friends to avoid any inconsistencies. And there is nothing as the latest version. I normally put final 1, then final 2, final 3, final 4, final 5. So many finals. And of course, at the end, final paper is a mixture of your original fantastic idea and what Tariq Ashraf has roughened up in so many revisions. Mind you, writing paper is like doing a PCI, and nobody was accomplished and quick the first time one took a catheter or a balloon in his hand. And for this, you have to keep crisscrossing between your data, your analysis, and your published works. Chit-chat with colleagues and express it and it helps a lot. And keep focused on your work and what you like and what you need. That's more important, what you like and what you need. And this is how you can do it. And my last slide is that this is your own journal. All those interventional cardiologists who take pleasure in opening the occluded arteries should also take pen or maybe resort to computer, start writing, and PGCI is eagerly awaits your submission. The standard, many people would say, oh, the standard is not good. No, the standard will be determined by your contribution. So you are the people who will determine the standard. The more articles you give, the better articles you give, it will raise the standard. And please, people get very offended when we send articles back for revision. This is a routine for every journal. And you will read in any journal, submitted, revision, revision, revision. So don't take it to the heart. This is something not to get upset. This is something to improve the journal. And we all work together to make your work, not in the cath lab, but on the computer, look better. And once again, thank you very much.
Was in AFIC, not in NICVD. Please prove it. I have all the record at home and also from NICVD. You also know it. You as a young Dr. Hafizullah met me in PC conference and you told me when we had done 3 cases and there was none in NICVD. I have evidence of that as well and what we did in AFIC as well. Please correct this. This is your first statement, and you have to continue doing it.
I'm not the editor of the journal. I'm the chief guest for the occasion, so I'm not supposed to do that. I think this is what Tariq... No, hats off to both AFIC, hats off to NICVD, to PIC for leading the way. And we are really proud of all these institutions. These are our institutions, and we are proud of it. And of course, I mean, credit to you that I think he said that your picture was shown so beautifully when you were young. Oh, but the picture was shown and you looked so beautiful and handsome in that article.
I remember reading an article in Dawn written by Azhar Farooqi himself in 1985 when he wrote that he has completed an angioplasty. I remember that. Or usse, I don't know. But it was in Dawn, और Dawn के रिकॉर्ड से आप निकाल सकते हैं वहीं से.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. This is an interesting discussion, but I think this would be done on dinner rather here. We are short of time actually. All right, this is time for certificate distribution, and this certificate distribution is being honor for the authors of the first and second issue. So many of them are not present though, but I would actually will go with their names. Professor Azhar Farooqi. सर उनका नाम नहीं है. अच्छा सर वो इसके बाद शील्ड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, उसके लिए इन सबको बुलाएंगे. प्रोफेसर मंसूर अहमद फॉर सर्टिफिकेट रिसीविंग सर प्लीज. सर्टिफिकेट्स लेके यहाँ खड़े हो और यहाँ सर को देते जाइए. Dr. Bilal Ahmed, if he's here. I suppose he's not here. Dr. Muhammad Hashim. Dr. Javed Jalbani. Dr. Jabbar Ali. All right. Dr. Kamran Ahmed Khan. Dr. Kamran Ahmed Khan is not here. Dr. Madiha Bashir. Dr. Mohammad Rehanul Haq. Dr. Gulshan Ahmed. Dr. Asim Siddiqui. Dr. Samiur Rahman. Dr. Mukesh Kumar. Dr. Shazeb. And now I would like to invite Professor Nadeem Rizvi over the stage to present the certificate to the chief guest, Professor Muhammad Hafizullah. She'll be here, so you both have to stay here. There's a shield distribution as well. I would invite Dr. Tariq Ashraf on the stage, please. Dr. Ishtiaq Rasool.
This clapping is not good enough.
Pre-dinner clapping, actually. He's coming on stage. Mr. Faisal Abrar from Getz Pharma. For President PSIC, Professor Nadeem Hassan Rizvi. For our chief guest, Professor Hafizullah, sir, आप present करेंगे. Lastly, I would request Dr. Numan Nasir on stage, Professor of Cardiology at Behria Hospital, Lahore, for vote of thanks.
I'm the last man standing between you guys and the dinner after a long day of lectures and speeches, so I'll be very brief. Vote of thanks, I guess I'll give a partial thank you. पूरा थैंक यू तब आएगा जब लोग आर्टिकल्स जमा कराना शुरू करेंगे ऑफिशियली साइन फ्रॉम द जर्नल बिकॉज जर्नल का फ्यूचर इज़ बेस्ड ऑन सबमिशंस फ्रॉम ऑल ऑफ अस अब विद द रजिस्ट्री डाटा वी हैव जो डॉक्टर बशीर अनी साहब ने क्रॉप का शुरू कराया हुआ है और फेलोज़ जो है अपने आर्टिकल्स क्योंकि जमा करा सकते हैं अपना फॉर रिसर्च एज़ वेल और उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट है तो उसके ज़रिए वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ रिसोर्स सब पब्लिकेशन के लिए और जो भी इमेजेस हों और रिसर्च डाटा जो है उसको जमा कराएं ताकि तारिक अफसर साहब जो हैं उसको आगे लेके जर्नल को चल सकें और डॉक्टर इश्तियाक रसूल साहब भी इन दोनों को सल्यूट फॉर बीइंग एबल टू गेट दिस जर्नल ready for approval, and so thank you very much for doing that. And kuch log khamoshi se kaam karte rahe, to in the end they deliver and deliver well. So thank you, Professor Tariq Afshar Saab and Ishtaq Rasool Saab, and thank you, Professor Hafizullah Saab, for gracing this occasion as a chief guest. Apart from having all the portfolios that you have had as a Vice Chancellor and Governor ACC elect, just genuinely a very nice and great human being. तो आपने एक बीज डाला था, उसको उन्होंने grow कराना शुरू कर दिया. Inshallah, it will continue to grow more. And Nadeem Rizvi Saab for providing the support as the president for the journal. So thank you all for joining us over here. So take care. और most importantly, जिनको नहीं बोलना चाहिए कि GETS वाले जो हैं उन्होंने support किया journal को, and hopefully they'll continue to support the journey throughout. और ERIC वाले जो हैं जो research की help provide कर रहे हैं. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are closing the session with the official launch of journal. Please wait for a very brief presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much again for hearing us, and dinner is available outside. Thank you.